So in our first video of 2022, we discussed players that may struggle and have a tough 2022. And now in today's video, we're going to be on a more positive note, doing the exact opposite. Discussing some players who may have not had the greatest 2021 or end to their 2021, but will definitely bounce, or I'm confident will bounce back and have good seasons. Now, first on this list is De'Aaron Fox of the Sacramento Kings. I spoke on him in another video a few weeks ago, and a lot of the reason he is struggling is, one, his teammates aren't that good. Two, with Tyrese Halliburton, emerging as a really good player, and he's also a guard. He does not have the ball in his hands as much, and he's really struggling to shoot. But when it comes to Fox, he's just too talented to keep struggling like this. Maybe it's not with Sacramento. Maybe they go the route of, Halliburton and Davion Mitchell as our guards of the future and want to trade De'Aaron Fox for maybe a wing or something that could help balance out their team more. But I still think Fox is just way too talented of a player to keep struggling like this. I think that he'll never be a great three-point shooter, but I think it'll round out more. And it is hard to be consistent when the team around you is so inconsistent. Obviously, COVID issues too. But the main point I'm trying to make here is just that he's struggling right now, but the natural talent he possesses is going to pull through for him eventually, and the gifts he has will be shown. Next up on this list is RJ Barrett of the Knicks, who, like Julius Randle, who I discussed in the last video, had a tremendous second year as a member of the New York Knicks. After a slightly disappointing rookie year for a third overall pick, showed some things, but overall didn't shoot that well from the field, and his three-pointer didn't really look there as a rookie. But in his second year, he averaged almost 18 a game, 6 rebounds, and shot over 40% from three, which was extremely impressive. And he led the New York Knicks, or he helped lead the New York Knicks alongside Julius Randle to the playoffs for the first time in a long time. And he really made that second year jump everybody was expecting out of him, and he silenced a lot of doubters in year two. So going into year three, another jump was expected out of the 21-year-old, the former number one high school player in the nation. And he has somewhat disappointed. He has had a few really good stretches of games, but overall, his inability to create shots has shown, and it's been tough for him to gain consistency, and his three-pointer hasn't been there. But I do feel he will be just fine. He just worked too hard to get to this point, and I know you could say that about any NBA player, but Barrett has developed a reputation as having one of the best work ethics on the team for the Knicks. And also, he's just so young. He just has so much time to improve. I don't think he's going to be a superstar or anything, but I definitely think his numbers are going to improve over the season. And I think, him and Randle have both definitely been rough, along with Evan Fournier. But like Fox, his natural talent will prevail, and I just think he has a lot of room to grow. He's made strides on defense. He's a decent passer, but he's just got to start hitting his open threes that he was hitting last season. He's getting similar shots. If he can just hit some off the dribble shots, he could be so effective as a really good role player for the Knicks and slowly expand his game. I think his ceiling is probably a third option on a really good team. Maybe someone similar to Gordon Hayward, but I just feel like he's still so young and he'll figure it out. And after I recorded this segment of the video, he did have a 32-point game and a absolutely wild game winner versus the Boston Celtics. Some might say it was luck, but it went in at the end of the day. And But next up on this list is another player who was a very high draft pick recently in Jalen Green, and I know he's just a rookie, but Green has struggled and has gotten a lot of criticism from other NBA fans, for being just a very vocal person, expressing his thoughts on where he wanted to be and stuff like that, and being compared to Evan Mobley and Cade Cunningham, who have so far looked like better NBA players. You can definitely say that, but I still think Green is going to be really good. And I think one thing that some people are overlooking with his struggles and inefficiency, I mean, most people expected him to be inefficient, but he also doesn't really have a real point guard. Kevin Porter Jr. has really struggled in that point guard role. His assist to turnover ratio is really, really poor, and he's just more of a scorer than a real passer, and he's tried to distribute, but his decision making just isn't there to be an NBA starting point guard. He hasn't shot effectively. I think if you put Green with just like a decent point guard, at least he's gonna get a lot more looks and that. And I really do think that's what Houston should probably target with another high draft pick that they're gonna have next year. And Green recently, after coming back from injuries, had some nice performances as well. But really, the main thing I'm trying to say here is once Houston gets a real point guard, because I don't think Kevin Porter Jr. is the long-term answer at that position, Green's going to flourish a lot more with the Rockets. Moving on from Houston's possible future franchise player to their former franchise player, the last person on this list is James Harden, and now a member of the Brooklyn Nets. As we know, it's been around a year since the Harden trade, and he's definitely been in way more of a playmaking role, obviously playing alongside KD and Kyrie for some of the games, but this season really only KD, and his points have really declined this season, but he has been putting up overall still good counting stats. Rebounds and assists have been going up, and he's put up multiple triple doubles this season. But the main concern for Harden is he was seen as an elite scorer around the league, and his scoring production has not been elite this season, which leads some people to believe he's declining. Now, that is somewhat fair, but I don't think that's fully fair for two reasons. One of them being, as I said, he's in a way bigger playmaking role this season, and he's pretty much playing point guard, and he's looking to move the ball a lot more than he was in Houston when they were pretty much just playing iso ball. But also with Harden, he does this thing where every single season he comes into training camp out of shape, and then he plays himself into shape, and he's doing that again this year. And recently he's been scoring the ball more, had a 39-point triple-double the other week, and he's starting to get in shape. You can tell he's quicker now than to start the season. He looks slimmer, and just a player that good, he'll be fine. I think the fact that people think he's seriously declining or whatever is pretty dumb. Is he having his best year in the NBA or close to it? Not at all, but will he be fine? Is he still a top 10 player in the league? Yeah, I think so, and his passing and rebounding have been better than ever, and I still think the Nets will be good with him and KD. So there are 4 players who I feel will have a much better 2022 than they did end to their 2021. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thank you for watching.